children's services came knocking on my door, and I had a 1-week-old son.
I think when you have poor mental health and you're trying to be a parent, it's a challenge.
Poor mental health is high in some ethnic communities because there are taboos, stigmas. A project like Starting Well is really important to these communities because from my work I've noticed that a lot of these families will not even know the services that exist. I've come across families that can only access the internet through a phone, and often that phone will be broken because it's the phone that the whole family use. So I definitely saw a gap in digital exclusion with regards to the families that I've worked with.
The reason Starting Well is so important is that there are lots of factors when considering the support that vulnerable families need. And the Starting Well project particularly addresses some of those. So seeking volunteers, Home Start volunteers from particular communities to support people from those communities is a really important aspect of it.
My name is Ramita. I am a mother of 3 children. I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy at the age of 2, but when I became a mother of my first child, I experienced life from as mother does, as any other mother, but I also experienced it from a different angle because I had to come up with hurdles of how to look after my children, how to feeding, nappy changing, etc. And I had to adapt. As a disabled parent, I had to adapt to my life probably a lot more than the norm mothers out there. And they said, well, why did you choose to have a child if you can't look after him? Because you're from a Muslim family, why aren't you living with your mum? Now my mum's got renal failure, so that was out the picture. And that's when we got Home Starting Well saying we need the extra support, and the volunteering system started. When Home Start come, sometimes the best visits have been where we've been able to go out for coffee with the children, or sometimes without the children, so I'm able to leave them with my husband and I can just go for one-to-one. And that was lovely. And some of the visits have been around paperwork, so people with filling in forms, because I've got cerebral palsy, so handwriting is difficult at the best of times.
I'm Alexandra. I live in Clayton, Manchester. I've got 4 children. My eldest daughter is nearly 13 and my youngest son is nearly 2. I was furloughed at the start of the pandemic, so I was around 22 weeks pregnant, and I found that difficult to be pregnant and being at home with the children, spending so much time with them. It wasn't something I was used to doing. I've always had a baby, gone back to work. So as the pregnancy progressed and I was still furloughed, I did notice that I was starting to get more and more anxious about the situation, about the uncertainty of what was going to happen to my job. I was worried about catching COVID, something happening to the baby or me. Even the worst case scenario that I was going to die from COVID. When I finally spoke to Homestart, I did, express them that I wanted someone to talk to on a friend level. When the pandemic hit and I suddenly found myself at home with all these children, and just interactions with work colleagues, we might talk for 5 minutes and then we get going. I didn't realise how much that actually meant, and I think that's what kept me ticking over and thinking I don't really need a friend, because them small social interactions was enough to kind of get me through. But once they were removed, I suddenly realised that actually, I needed to have that. You might be present, physically present with the children, but not mentally present. And I think the kids pick up on that. So I think you need to have kind of a good sense of well-being to be able to enjoy the children, and for the children to enjoy you being their parent. Obviously the pandemic has been really horrible, and this still weighs heavy on me now. I think if something good's come out of it is that it allowed me to get in contact with Homestart, and that I've learned how to be friends with people again, and that I can cope with these people in my house, and I can have meaningful relationships and have people around my kids and feel comfortable.
2 months ago, I just got back from visiting family abroad, and that had a really bad impact on my mental health, because I had to not only deal with accessibility issues, but I had to deal with accepting me for who I am. And I was really depressed to the point where I couldn't think, I couldn't even focus on getting out of bed, I just couldn't even get dressed. I rang one of the Homestart workers and I just started crying. I said, I need help.
I think, mental health problems in themselves can lead to really catastrophic incidents in the end. But in between that, you've got a lot of factors that may impact on, for example, infant-maternal bonding, attachment, and then we know that goes on to affect the baby, and in turn affect their lives, their life chances, their risk of getting mental health problems themselves, relationship problems.
So at Homestart, we support families from all different cultural backgrounds, quite a diverse mix of families. So my current family, Sonia, she's a Muslim lady. With having the young children, I was matched with her because of my training in the PIMS, the PIMS training course. With the PIMS training, the idea really is supporting young children in the first couple of years of their life, because that's an age where development really has an impact, and if children of that age are getting the support they need, the hope is that those children will go on to lead a happy life. So we've done a lot of training. So the training was several days, very in depth around what the child is thinking, even at the early age of maybe even 3 months. The interactions that you're having with the child, what are they thinking, what are they gaining from that interaction, and how just smiling at a child and giving them the positive feedback really helps their development at that age. Since I've been supporting Sonia, I believe that she's got stronger. When I first met her, I do remember there being tears when she was telling us her story, and she didn't really want to go out. She didn't seem very confident. She had a lot of things on her mind that were distracting her from being where she wanted to be. And as we've gone through the past sort of 5-6 months, she's become stronger. I'd like to think that being a volunteer with her has contributed to that by giving her the support that she needs. And I think, obviously, being a Muslim lady, she has an extended family. She does have support from her family. I think what's nice about my relationship with her is it offers her a perspective from outside her family. And, I think that's probably valuable for all of us, really. So I was a little concerned about supporting a Muslim family just because I didn't want to do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to do anything that would offend her family or show a kind of lack of cultural awareness. So when I first started seeing Sonia, I did say, on occasions, like, you must tell me if I'm saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, and you must just appreciate that I may not be as aware as I should be. And she, we had an open conversation about it, and it was fine. And to the point, if I go to her family, she laughs about the fact that I do have to accept the cup of tea and the biscuits, and I did come away with a biryani in a pot once, and that's something I've not had with non-Muslim families, and it's lovely. We talk about what she's got from the relationship, but I've got a lot from it as well in terms of cultural learning and understanding much more about the Muslim way of life, which has got to be a good thing.
In terms of the Home Start volunteers' role, there is quite a lot of evidence going back to the 70s and 80s around the value of having support.
The family I'm supporting at the moment is a DV. When we say DV approximately means domestic violence, and she's had to be separated from her husband due to that. And she's got a small child under the age of 5. She never spoke English. She doesn't speak English at all. She speaks Arabic, which is sort of like funny. And on my first day, my coordinator said to me, "Are you sure you're going to be able to do this?" And I said to her, "We'll give it a try. Let's see how it goes. We would use Translate. We'll do the phone." And that was practically what we did. And I'm so excited to say much about this family because after 6 months, this family communicates independently in English. We don't, even when I say, "Should I use the phone?" She's like, No, you don't have to use the phone. I speak English, And that alone is a lot for us because that shows we're able to give her that independency. As Home Start, we're not coming to talk about the trauma. We're just coming to make life better on forward. What we can give, what we can support, and be able to support not just the family, the mom, because I used to say when mom is happy, children are happy. So we support around budgeting, financing, managing the home, appointments, the importance of appointments, letter reading. It's everything. Just to put mom basically on her feet.
Ajoki helping me too much. I need to say thank you for Ajoki and for Home Start. When Ajoki come to my home, I don't speak English very well. Now I am speak English little is not good. I understand, I can't speak very well. I can't speak clearly. I need to say thank you for Home Start and Ajoki and Farah.
Starting Well has been a great project. It's been well received, but it's really important that it continues because this work reaches far beyond the 2 years that we've been covering it in. We need to recruit more volunteers. We need to encourage more people in the community to become volunteers.
My name is Eniola. I'm originally from Nigeria, Africa. I'm volunteering for Home Start. It's quite important supporting baby, and that was what struck me because when I saw that the work with young family, it could only be young children, and giving young children the opportunities to support them to have a good start in life, it's really great.
It was after a few months of video calls and speaking to Zoe over the phone, I did start to feel better.
The training that they've received are really, well, it's really phenomenal. And if there was more people out there in other organisations like that, I think it would be a different category. We'd be living in a different world right now.
I'd also hopefully like to become a volunteer as well for Home Start in the near future.
Like now, I have confidence for myself. I speak English. I don't give up in my life.